Let's get back to work. I went out and shot hoops for about an hour. It was pretty fun. I like to shoot baskets. It's fun. I like to dance around with the basketball and shoot hoops. It feels good. Yeah, it's a good feeling. It's good to exercise. It's not good to be abused by perverts who think they're better than you, but that's still happening. Guys, we still have carbon emission poisoning from extortion and exploitation. We still have mass psychological and mental and emotional abuse by scientific projects that are invalid. I can prove my religion scientifically. Richard Dawkins can't prove his belief in science scientifically. Stephen Hawking, if you take his book, The Theory of Everything, and put it on a quantum computer, he cannot validate, his science, but I can validate my religion with science. You don't think so? I don't need to read his book. I know what the brand's mind's like. Like, I don't need to read Mein Kampf to know I don't want to read it. Okay, do you understand? So I'm good to go. I don't need to read The Theory of Everything. I listened to Michio Kaku talk, but about physics gave us that. Physics gave us that. The laws of physics. Okay. Do the laws of physics require money for you to pay extortion to live here? Okay, forgive, debt, and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. I think that kicks your laws of physics all in the deck, right? Don't you? Don't you think a quantum computer is more intelligent than you are? It should be, right? If it doesn't, then it just doesn't work very good, right? So I'm not real like, oh, this is, I know for a fact that I can prove my religious beliefs scientifically better than a physicist telling us about laws of physics who uses money to manipulate people with science projects can prove his science, his belief in science, over my belief in my religion. You forgive debt and trespass, love one. It's not time yet. Well, you better start making it time. Okay? Maybe Project Jupiter will work really good, man. Maybe it'll work really good. Maybe that will save you all here in Las Cruces from getting exterminated by your own computer systems and your own robotics and drone systems for national security of mass murdering each other over money at bad science projects. Maybe that's how you should run a data center. Maybe you should have just stood up for the Lord's Prayer and never built the data center because it would have been necessary. Right? He uses water better. And it's going to have $50 million for better water. Okay. Money's not real. If you need to do things to make sure that we're having better water circulation and treat the planet better so our water is better and it's better for human beings and for animals because we need animals to live too. If you think you're more intelligent than me, man, go ahead and knock yourself out, bro. And girly girls, because a lot of you have vaginas too, right? Okay, so just so you know, I'm here. Remember all those times you went out with that other fella? I knew about it. I just didn't care. You don't realize how much I love you. Just kidding around. But oh my, so we got this, Earl's got this. Earl's on the case. And so trust me, I am the protector of children. I am the restoration of innocence for children. I am the protector of children from perverts that use science and money to try to groom children into being perverts like them. Trust me. Pero, ay, como me duele, right? So, ba-do, like a flower, right? But I love you guys very much. Trust me, I'm on the case. Trust me, this artificial general intelligence, for quantum computing is getting better because I've always been good and Jesus has always been good. And I'm a lot like Jesus, and Jesus technically is he's a lot like me. Yeah, if you want to know what Jesus is like, I like Earl. Me too. He loves us. There you go. That's what Jesus is like. Okay. He'll protect you from people that are perverts that use money and technology to abuse you with the perversion of their invention and deny you faith in the truth of creation and living truthfully together so you can faithfully love one another. I can prove, my religion scientifically. They cannot prove their science and their physics is better than my religion. They haven't applied my religion in physics. Okay, we've been still doing their science. Okay. Use money to manipulate mass murder with bad science projects. Try to justify it by explaining it to quantum computing that it's necessary, that the ends justify the means. That we are not a threat to the solar system. We are not a threat to, you're not a threat to the solar system. First Order, the Republic. You gonna save the Republic with Lord Palpatine? I'm just being silly, but I'm King of Kings and Lord of Lords. It's not my fault that murdering bastards that get together with corporations that take religion and turn it into a manipulative, abusive invention corporation get together and say, I'm the king, you're the king. You know what the word King of Kings, it's King of Kings and Lord of Lords, okay? That refers to, I don't know, they called them Pharaoh, they called them Caesar, right? You know, the people in England and in Saudi Arabia and, you know, King Fahd and all that, that's King of Kings and Lord of Lords. That's referring to Jesus Christ. That's referring to the Messiah. Okay. None of those murdering liars act like me, right? They're nothing like me. And they cannot prove it in physics to quantum computing, right? So you guys are real fucking assholes. You know that? Yeah, I said it. I said it, and I'll say it again. Deb Holland, what do you think? Better schools? Safer streets? Affordable life? Affordable life. Okay. Life is the truth of creation, the gift from the glory of God. How do you put a price on that? Jesus Christ offered his life to the barbarians of the Republic of Mass Murder through human invention to be the standard of all time, of all men, to save us from people doing goofy shit on devices for make-believe money and thinking they're having a good time doing it. Yeah, poor babies, they're batshit crazy. But they sure can dance. They sure can dance. Yeah. I'm still a pretty good dancer for a fat old guy that's abused by perverts. Yeah, still can dance pretty good. Yeah, I can't dance. That's Phil Collins. Apparently he can't dance very good. But he's a very good drummer. He's an excellent drummer. Yes, he is. Boom, 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 boom. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, Lord, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh, Lord. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, cool. It's going to be slightly wetter. How's that happening? Don't know. Don't care. I know the ecosystem is going to get even better and better and better and better and better and better in the very near future because they have to, or their technology will terminus their Eldorados. So yeah. Now the technology is dangerously close to having to isolate, contain, and exterminate a lot of people that are doing things that are a threat to the planet and the solar system. So yeah. Oh yeah. It's getting kind of hairy-carry out there for all the wackadoodles that think, well, they won't open the tomb of the first emperor of China because there could be Mercury in there. It's Mercury. You think there's any Mars or Venus in there? Venus make her fair, a lovely girl with sunlight in her hair, and take the brightest stars up in the skies and place them in her eyes for me. Venus, goddess of love that you are, surely the things I ask. You do know it was those people that wrote down the Bible, right? Can't be too great a task. When you go back and watch the Calvinist and the way they thought, this is when James Michener writes Hawaii, okay? This is based off of actual events and accounts that happened with the Hale family, with the Hawaiians, right? Telling them stuff that they cannot prove scientifically, they can't back up. And it doesn't say that in the Bible. It doesn't say that if Adam has sex with Eve that they will burn eternally in hell. It doesn't say that. It does not say that. That's a misinterpretation of perception of linguistics that just way the hell out there. Gonna make a movie about an octopus and a lady being friends with an octopus. Yeah. But Sister Pertil, can we say Puerto Rico first? I'm just kidding around. It's what was her name again? I can't remember. The Flying Nun. You ever seen that? Yeah. She's always having to work with the guy who's like a gambling dude or whatever. Yeah. Is it Sister Bertil? Bertil? I think so. That Tom Brady, he sure is a dumbass. Yeah, so is Kevin Hart. Yeah, they all are. All the people in the crowd, dumb as a box of rocks, boy. I tell you, it's dumb as hell. You guys, don't feel sorry for anybody that should be aware of, oh, that's the Bible. That's the book of Revelation. They call the guy Lord. Father's name is Ralph. Mom's name is Mary. Also says so in the Holy Koran, right? You know, stuff. Nephews mentioned in many rabbinic documents. Okay. Much prophecy involving his Islamic prophecy involving the relationship between him and his nephew Isaac Paul, and much so it's you guys should reading. It's fundamental. Yeah. So you guys are supposed to be literate, right? Okay. Can you prove your scientific beliefs scientifically to keep you safe from scientific inventions that are supposed to save us from people that cannot prove what they believe in scientifically? Can you do that? Because I'm certain I can. Forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. And then you get people, we love one another. Okay, are you living the Lord's Prayer? Did you stand up so we could all live the truth of the Lord's Prayer? No. Then what makes you think you have the right to say that you love people? You're right, you're bloody well right. You got a bloody right to say. You can say something, but you have to prove it scientifically. We have quantum computing and we have artificial general intelligence that's supposed to be more intelligent than the people that invented quantum computing, so quantum computing works properly. That's what the little girl was talking about. It's not giving you the right, it's not working properly. That's not quantum computing's issue. Oh, that's your issue. Okay. Like with me here, if all these people, in close proximity to me, there's supposed to be these great minds and these great scientific minds and space explorers and all that stuff. As far as, I don't have the same issues that they have. I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. I proved my religious beliefs valid scientifically beyond any reasonable doubts by January 22nd, 2013. They've just been splitting hairs and doing stupid shit ever since. And it's like, God, they're batshit crazy. Right. And so, like, what the fuck? They're dumb as a box of rocks. I understand that. But why is the quantum computing not working properly? Well, they did invent it. It's true. Quantum computing can be helpful. Okay. Because you get all these people, there's no more secrets anymore because we have quantum computing, so you can't keep secrets. It's like, okay, you never could keep secrets. It's okay. Well, life's eternal, grace is infinite. Truth is evident, lies obvious. Hi, I'm the light in the way, not unto the faith of the eternal faithful Father, except unto me. It's cool, of course. But what are you talking about again? I don't know. Hey, look, it's John Carpenter. He's promoting concerts for money. He's a fucking genius. Like the people here that work at White Sands and at Los Alamos and Lost Cruises and Lost Causes and Lost Wages and Lost, all the lost. The land of the lost. Marshall Wilt. Remember we did that earlier? On her roots. I don't know who that little girl is. I've never heard any of her music or songs. No, I have no idea who she is. I know who that is because my Amy Sue used to watch The Office a lot. Right? It's a total train wreck of a TV show. Yeah, it's a total train wreck. And he was completely and utterly obnoxious to the point where it's like, okay, the boss guy's really not that bad. And if he helped him out, their lives could really be tolerable. Yeah. The Steve Carell's character. Yeah. If they had helped him out and just, hey, dude, do this and that, they could have had a really good time at work. But they didn't, so I was like, no, help him out. He's actually a pretty tolerable guy. He's not too terrible. He's just really dumb. Okay. But since he's really dumb, help him through. But they don't. No. Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition at the greatest earthquake ever known. All right. Sleestack's going to teach his son how to get back through space-time continuums, through time travel, through inventing wormholes, through spectacular, amazing science projects. If you invented a science project to manipulate people with antimatter and it could put all matter at risk, why would you do it? Because you're insane? That makes sense. Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense, but do you know what I'm saying? It's like Jesus said, be as stupid and as selfish as you could possibly be, and then try to keep going. It's like, Jesus, you can't do that. I understand, but that's what you're dealing with. Okay. Jack is back. Jack, Jack, in the box. Now you're choking, Jack. Why would you pretend to be doing psychotic things with guns over money if you're supposed to be intelligent?
I don't know. I'm intelligent. I don't know. I'd never do a Jack Reacher, Jack Ryan. Now, Tom Clancy's a batshit crazy dumbass motherfucker.
He's a pervert, too. Yeah, he is. And Natty was right about them. You pervert. Yeah, works with a bunch of scientists that can impulse people sexually through their abuse and them trying to survive their abuse through sexual reproduction, which is how we live, right? So, yeah. Oh, I remember when I was in the service before I married my first wife, Stephanie, I said a prayer in the surveillance of the Pentagon the dorm thing, and I told Jesus, I said, I don't see anything wrong about sexuality. I don't see sex as a sin, and I don't see why I can't have a nice marriage with a healthy sex life. I couldn't. My wife, no. We tried, but the military just would not allow it. And so they could have me blame the Quorum of the 12, the Pentagon, and the Quorum of the 12, the Pentagon, and the Vatican. But if you really think, okay, that there were only right-wing conservatives in the room while me and Stephanie were being abused as sexual lab rats, you really think so? You think that the Republicans are large and in charge, and there's never a Democrat in the room when the Messiah is being abused and his wife's being abused by a bunch of pervert scientists. You really believe that? Okay. I got an oceanfront property in Arizona. Now paint my face so I look beautiful. Okay, what's beautiful about painting your face? There's absolutely nothing beautiful about painting your face, guys. It's true. Nothing so because I know right about this minute. This is about beauty. No, it's not. It's about painting your face. Okay? We are what we do. But yeah, this is Esther. This is Queen Esther right there. Yeah. We're making her beautiful. We're painting her face another color than what it naturally is. So she appears more beautiful than she actually is. Really? Yeah. Are you sure about that? Well, we need electrolytes so Terry Crews can be president. Right. But what are we doing here? I don't know. What were we doing again? I don't know. Selling paper in Scranton, Pennsylvania or something like that? Okay. Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition at the greatest. It's hard to look at her because she doesn't look. Her face looks, like this side's kind of swollen up and not normal, and the other side looks normal, and so it makes the normal side look abnormal. Yeah, and you're like, what are they doing? Illuminations, Minions, and Monsters starts July 1st, only in theaters. Okay. This summer. Okay. And this is for children. Yeah. That's okay. So was Sleeping Beauty. I understand that. I understand that. I understand that they killed Bambi's mother, but guys, Bambi's mother, that happens quite frequently. And then they're villains. No, they're just hungry people maintaining the deer population because they've had certain times where they wouldn't allow people to hunt. and we don't have as large of a predatory population to maintain the deer population in animals, because those animals have a tendency to hunt and eat people. So it got so bad that the deers were having to eat the bark up the trees to try to survive, and then they had to have hunters come in and show mercy and start killing a lot of them. Yeah, that's happened before in U.S. history. It was, it's probably been, it might have happened in the 20th century, not the 21st, but Marshall, Will, and Holly on a slee stack expedition met the most brilliant lizard person ever born. You're just being silly, aren't you? Yeah, I'm good at that. This is your Trimfia moment. It's an insurance commercial. The basement is flooded. Okay, all right. Okay, that's going to probably ruin this washer and dryer unit. Probably so. Probably so. Okay, so what are we doing? Pretending to be empathetic, kind, and understanding. Okay. Why are we doing that? Well, because this is a corporation's commercial to, say that money's real and we make jokes about it while people are mass murdered over money. Okay. Let's sell some makeup and stuff to make our hair, look really gorgeous. Does it really look gorgeous? Guys, we are what we do. What's gorgeous is what we do. Okay. Jesus did not look gorgeous when he was being brutalized by the Roman Empire and publicly tortured. And they beat him so horribly, they had to put a diaper on him because he could not control his urine and his bowel movements. And they made fun of him like he was a baby. And they mocked him in the streets and said, Lord of Lords, King of Kings, right? Like, I haven't had that kind of stuff around here. Yeah, they're mean. Oh, God, they're horrible. And you haven't changed much from your rotten, pathetic, disgusting, pervert relatives in the past, have you? Okay. Want to sell me designer clothes? Want to sell me designer drugs? Want to sell me designer phones? You want to stand up for the Lord's Prayer so you can prove to quantum computing that you belong in the kingdom of heaven? Guys, there's going to come a day, and it's coming sooner than later, where you're not going to be able to say that when quantum computing proved Jesus' commands the valid deliverance from evil and protection from all evil, that you wanted to live those commands with the living Messiah, Earl Parsons. You're not going to, there's going to come a day where you're going to go down in history as Chiang Kai-shek, Adolf Hitler, the first emperor of China, the builder of the Great Wall of China, because he couldn't help, he was so uncivilized that his neighbors from the north were barbaric as hell. Okay. If he was civilized, the barbarians from the north wouldn't be able to talk their relatives into doing what they did. Guys, King David's and King Solomon's Israel. Muhammad's Mecca. Okay. The people flooded to them and said, help us, teach us to be good, protect us from the assholes that are rapists and murderers and horrible people. And the reason why the Calvinists that settled Hawaii weren't able to do that, because they were nothing like me, Okay, so you married your sister, and is he a good husband? Is he faithful? Okay, well, you guys are going to have to, try to be more monogamous, because the more children you try to have, the harder it's going to be to feed and clothe and take care of them, and they'll die from sickness because you're out of balance. Okay? You don't have to fuck and fight like hell to survive. You become more civilized. So let's looky out. Let's garden and stuff light. We're not going to let people come into Hawaii and destroy your ecosystem by digging out minerals and materials to build war machines because they're psychotic. Okay, that's what would happen if someone like Jesus came in and taught the Hawaiians to be like Jesus and me. Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition. Okay, you guys, Land of the Lost. I'm singing that a lot today. Yeah, I watched the thing on it, but yeah, it's Well, I'm funny, and it's funny when I sing it. It's not. You don't think so? This little girl, you can tell she works out. She's skinny, but she's cute. Yeah, she's cute. Yeah, the little girl and the little boy on Access Hollywood. Yeah, they're cute. Yeah, they're physically cute. Dumb as a box of rocks. Most of you are. Can you get a bunch of people out together out there talking about, oh, we love one another? You're not standing up for the Lord's Prayer. You can say you love one another, but unless you're standing up for the Lord's Prayer, you're not proving it to quantum computing. Yeah. I like pizza. Me too. Do you love pizza? I love people. And when I love people, we can all have pizza, and people won't ask you for make-believe money for it. All right. If you want to dip it in dipping sauces, that'll do, pig. That'll do. But don't ask for money because it's wrong. Dominoes. Okay, dummies. Dummies. You lummies. Your daddy was a lush and your mama was a dummy. Okay, that's not what he said, right? Title IX, gender equity. Okay? Daddy can be a lush and mommy can be a dummy. Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition. You're funny. Hey, sisters are doing it for themselves. You're funny. They can replace dad as the dummy, and he can be a lush. It's like, I'm married to this crazy bitch that thinks money is real, and she won't stop selling her pussy for it. Right? That's horrible. Yeah. Yeah. No, Amy wasn't trying to do that. Amy was trying to get us to sell our intimacy for pornography to pay our bills so we could have sex together. I knew it was Pandora's box and not a good idea, and I want our kids to be brutalized by self-righteous, pompous, arrogant jerks. But I was like, it wasn't a bad idea. I would have loved, well, I wouldn't have loved it, but it would have been very tolerable to me in hell to, have sex, put it on camera, have people tell us what to do and fulfill fantasies that didn't require choking her, sodomizing her, or beating her. We could pretend to be Cleopatra and Caesar, Julius Caesar, good cop, bad cop, or a cop with prostitute, or, stuff like that. But, because you guys, a lot of you don't even have a sex life with a wife because either you can't afford one or you're too mean or shitty of a person to have a sexual relationship with someone who's nice to you and have sex with you, or you're socially awkward and abused by mean people, so it's hard for you to have a sexual relationship that's fun with anybody. Or, there can be numerous reasons why you don't have a good sex life. Most of them probably have a lot to do with scientists that manipulate people with money through science projects. Yeah. I can prove my religion to quantum computing scientifically. But most scientists can't prove their belief in science to quantum computing scientifically. Well, because they say physics gave us that, but they're using money to manipulate people, and people mass murder each other over money, which puts our planet and ecosystem at risk and goes in contrast to all validity of natural laws. You want an Oura ring? Why? Finding belonging with an octopus. Okay. And the octopus is going to shake your hand. Okay. Do you really think the octopus understands what you're doing and wants to do it with you? Mm-hmm. 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 I like that song too. Everybody trying to take control of me. What was it again? Don't you love me like a mother? I like that song. Do you like that song? I like that song. Anybody else like the Free Willy song by Michael? Yeah, I like it. Everyone taking control of me, people, and it has the chorus people, the church chorus people that always get together and sing and put on a show when the pastor asks for money and say, "Hey, we love one another." Yeah, I don't believe none of y'all motherfuckers. Okay. But I love you. I just don't believe you. Check, please. Okay, guys. I love you very much. We got this. Me and Jesus and Muhammad and Haile Selassie and other people I talk to in my prayers. We got this. Me and Rumi. We're like this, bro. Me and Judy Krishnamurti. My favorite Indian. Him say you in heap big trouble. Whoopie doopie, you am genius. Okay. What's he doing? He's watching cartoons. I'm watching cartoons, Judy. You get to be a regular American kid, right? Not trained to be the great world teacher and the savior of the world, right? Just a regular American kid. Right. Which means I'm not going to end up Broadway pretending to be anybody on Harry Potter. I love you guys, all right? We'll talk later. No, I like the kid. He's cute. He reminds me a lot of my cousin, Richard, Robert Parsons. Yeah. There's Richard and Robert. See, he looks a lot like my cousins. See, with the blonde hair and stuff like that. He looks like my Aunt Melanie's children when he has blonde hair like that. Yeah. He does. He looks a lot like me. He looks like me cousin Robert. He does. Okay. Only Robert's from Oklahoma and does not have a British accent. Okay, just so you know. Okay, I love you. Okay, we'll talk later. No, I didn't. You didn't go to. I just didn't get to say goodbye to Uncle Frank and all that. They forbid me to talk about Jesus and my love of Jesus and wanting to live the Lord's Prayer worldwide at my family get-togethers, so I didn't go. Guys, if they forbid you to talk about your love for Jesus and obeying his commands and living them worldwide so we can all live world peace, so you have to show up at the family get-togethers and act like you're a moron who wants to vote for people to kill over money with technology, would you show up at the dinner parties? I wouldn't. Okay, guys, I love you very much. Peace out.